Hey guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now, my goal is at the end of this video is for you guys to find out what are the top work from home mistakes that you can avoid. Now, if this is your guys' first time on my channel, hi, my name is Lian Lailacaba. I am the virtual ate. I have been working from home since I was 15 years old. So here on my channel, I share tips and shortcuts on how to be able to also have a job online or working from home. So I post every Sunday and Thursday. So make sure that you hit the subscribe button right there so you don't miss any of my videos. Now, like any kind of career, when it comes to working from home, there are definitely some mistakes that you want to avoid. And these are a collection of things that I have done or other people I know have done and how to be able to avoid them. Now, make sure to watch until the end of this video for the one mistake that I see a lot that actually hinders someone or slows them down when it comes to working from home. One of the first mistakes that I see a lot when it comes to working from home is not having a clear goal. Now, when it comes to being someone who just works online, it can be sometimes really hard to get yourself out of bed because it could be so tempting to just keep scrolling through Facebook and not actually work at all because, you're working from home, it's really chill, it's very, not really, you don't have to get up right away. So you have to keep that in mind that you need to have a goal to actually keep moving you forward. Now, it could be a work goal, like you're setting a goal with your boss of like, okay, what is my goal for the week, for the month, for the year? So you have a purpose, you have a reason to get up. Now, if that's not applicable, if you're someone who is a freelancer, you're working on multiple projects, then you have to set goals yourself. Now, I actually already did a video on how to set goals. We can check out right here or by clicking right here, right there. You can find all of the videos that I'm going to mention in here. So when it comes to setting your own goals, it could be as small as just a daily goal. Like today, I'm going to make sure 50% of this project is done. No goal is actually too big or too small. So it's really up to you what you're comfortable with, as long as you have that reason to get up, as long as it's not too small, of course, where you're like, meh, I'll do it later, you'll procrastinate, and not too big that you'll feel overwhelmed. So just try to find your sweet spot of, you have to get up, you have to get things done. Now, the next mistake that I see when it comes to working from home is not having a clear enough skill or niche. Now, again, I've already done a video on this, which you guys can check out again in description or by clicking right here. But basically, when you don't have a clear skill or a clear niche, well, basically, what are you doing online and who are you working for? When you don't have that clear answer, it's really hard to get clients that way. And it's really hard to keep yourself going because you're not sure, you can get overwhelmed, you're not sure of what actually, am I a graphic artist, am I a social media manager, am I, doing web design for people, or you could be all, as long as you have that clarity that you know what you're doing, that you know what you're getting paid for, and of course, again, who you're actually working for. You can't really say that you're someone who just works for anyone, who works for any business, any niche. You're not really working for anyone. At least to start, just a specific niche that you're really focusing on. That way you can be known in that niche as that person who knows all about this. You're now going to become an expert for a lot of other people that you can get constant referrals from the clients that you work with. So that's why it's really important that you have a clear skill and niche when it comes to working from home. Now, another mistake that I see a lot is not setting boundaries. Now, what I mean by this, when you're working from home, you're probably surrounded by family, by your roommates, by other people who might distract you from working from home. So when it comes to setting boundaries, you want to make sure that they know that they can't come in, that they can't disturb you. As a funny example, I have this bear. I actually created him a few years ago. Whenever I'm recording or I'm on a call, this is usually outside my door, but right now I just gave them a verbal like, hey, I'm going to record. I have this because then this sets a boundary of don't bother me, don't bug me, don't knock on my door, chat me if you guys need me for anything. So this is my physical way of setting that boundary, but you can also set boundaries in different ways. So it's maybe setting up when you're going to work and setting that boundary within yourself also. And there's also setting boundaries with your boss, making sure that they know what times you're going to be available and not going beyond that, not crossing your own boundary that you set. So again, the three main boundaries that you need to set when it comes to working from home is your boundaries with yourself. That means when are you going to work, how hard are you going to work, when are you going to let yourself take a break, and boundaries with the people that you live with, letting them know that you can't be bugged at this different time, and setting boundaries with your boss so he or she knows when to contact you, how to contact you, and of course making sure that they don't make you feel uncomfortable for doing things that you don't want to work on. Next mistake is having no work from home habits. Now again, I already did a video on this that you guys can check out, but basically habits is more than just a routine. When it comes to working from home, like I said, you can sometimes get unmotivated. You don't want to get up. I've definitely had days like that where I don't want to get up. So what I've done is I've created a very specific habit that gets me out of bed and gets me going into my workspace so I can get started instead of, again, just scrolling through Facebook or just keep reading the book that I'm currently reading. When it comes to habits, you want to develop a morning routine, how to get yourself up. You want to develop a movement routine on how to just kind of keep active, because you are going to be working for, at least 6 to 8 hours a day. And you want to make sure that you're not just sitting down, that you're moving your body, that you are doing something to keep your body healthy. Because of course, if your body's not healthy, then you can't work, and of course you can't get paid. So you have to keep that in mind. Another very surprising work from home habit that I really recommend is the habit of rest, is making sure that you make time for yourself to rest, because it can be really addictive working from home, where you don't go to an office where you're just there. You can work the whole day if you wanted, the whole week if you wanted to. So it's making that time for yourself to just take a break, read a book, play a video game, do something different with you, and make sure that you're taking care of yourself. And the next mistake that I see a lot, and it's really common when it comes to working from home, is not being able to communicate clearly. Basically having just miscommunications with, again, it could be your boss, it could be the people that you live with. So you need to learn a lot of really good communication skills. And of course, I already have that video for you guys that you can check out right here. But it's basically knowing that when it comes to working online, especially if you're sending an email, especially when you're chatting, a lot of the time you might be sending something to someone that they will misinterpret, that it will be miscommunicated, or things get forgotten, things fall through the cracks. So to avoid this, again, you can learn how to just be a better communicator, which is practicing, which goes through, double checking your messages before you send them. It's making sure that you see things from the receiver's perspective so you can avoid any miscommunications. Again, it does happen when it comes to working from home, but you can avoid it if you really try to work on your own communication skills. Next is not having a dedicated workspace. Now, I know it can be tempting to just work on your bed, to work on your couch, and that is sometimes really tempting, but it's really good that you have a dedicated workspace that you get up to and you sit there and you're actually working. You're not going to be watching Netflix, you're not going to be playing games, you're actually going to sit there and work. Because the reason why it's so easy to get into flow if you're in an office is because it's a different space, it's a different setting, and you want to kind of mimic that a little bit when it comes to working from home. So it could be just a small desk. I actually have a really small desk. It could be just a really simple one where you just have your mouse, you have your earphones. So I'm going to show you guys really quick what my own workspace looks like. So this right here is my workspace. You can see my laptop, you can see my bookshelf right here, you can see a jacket that I always have on hand depending on for calls. So I am always ready. I have my Kindle, I have my files and paperwork and all here, but this is my workspace. And this is a separate space that I make sure that I keep sacred. So I know that this is a place that I am not going to be distracted in. This is a space where I have a window right there that I can see through if my eyes get too tired. And it's just, this is just my workspace. It's just where I know that I can get things done. Now, I know this might be a little bit harder to do if you are someone who lives with your big whole family, but it's still important that you have at least a little bit of a corner where it's just yours. Now, you guys saw my desk is actually really small. I don't have a big, large desk because I like to move around my desk depending on where the light is at, but that's just me. So find your own way and define your own workspace, whatever that looks like. Another mistake that I see a lot is actually working in pajamas. Now, I know it can be tempting to just get up and start working and not even change clothes, but when you put on just work clothes, like right now, these are one of my work clothes. You guys saw that I have a jacket always on hand in case of Zoom calls, but for me, it's basically just having that shift of like, okay, this is work mode. This is me getting into this, mindset that I'm someone who's working and not just, going to be procrastinating or watching YouTube videos all day. So you want to make sure that you're not always working in your pajamas when you're working from home, especially if there's emergency video call that you have to do with your boss. So it's just good to be on the safe side. Now, I don't mean to wear like a whole suit and tie, just at least just a formal polo, something that is different from what is usually your home clothes. Actually put up some work clothes. So for example, for me, I'll wear a blouse and it's just going to be like just home shorts at the bottom. And that's okay because no one will see that. But already just changing, just putting on a different attire changes my mindset so much. That's why it's really important that you're not working in your pajamas. The next mistake that you can do when it comes to working from home is not having a branding. Now, of course, I've already done a video on that, which you guys can check out. But when it comes to branding yourself, when it comes to making sure that other people know who you are, you don't need a website, don't need a pretty logo, you don't need anything else. It's just making sure that on your social media profiles, you are a writer, you're an online writer, you're a work from home graphic artist. It's just having people know what you do. That's just how it is. It's making sure that other people know that you're someone who's working from home, that this is your skill. It could be as simple as, if you're a writer, it's posting what you just did for your client. If you are a video editor or a graphic artist, posting that as well on your social media. Again, it doesn't have to be super complicated. It doesn't have to be just super elaborate. It can be as simple as just letting people know, like, hey, this is what I do. I know a few friends of mine who actually just post like screenshots of their work. When clients say that, hey, you did awesome on this, they do a screenshot and then post it on their social media. Because the reason why you want to do this is then you are known to be this person. So, a friend of yours who probably added you on Facebook could have a friend who's looking for a writer. And because they see that you are successful at this or you're just good at this, they will recommend you. So that's actually one of the ways that I've gotten a lot of my own clients is I just post a lot of what I do. And then I get like people who want to work with me. I get people who want to become a client of mine as a virtual ate. So it can be really just a snowball effect of you posting something really simple, just showing off a little bit of what you do, and other people knowing that and recognizing that, and then eventually maybe hiring you. Now, connecting with your branding, another mistake that I see a lot is actually not upgrading your skills. So when it comes to working on your branding, you are going to naturally be someone who wants to work on their skills because you want to keep upgrading, you want to keep posting on what it is that you do, right? So a mistake that I see is people just let their skills stagnate. They don't study, they don't look at other courses, they don't find mentors who can help them out. The reason why this is so important is the world is really fast-paced. The world online, working online is really fast-paced. So you want to be on par with that. You want to make sure that, if there's a newest software that makes graphics in 30 seconds, then you want to make sure that you are on par with that. That you're someone who's studying to learn that, and then how you're going to apply that to what it is that you do working from home. So you want to keep upgrading your skills. You want to look at courses like Skillshare, Udemy, and other places, and I'll put all of those links below of where else you can find courses online. But you have to really keep in mind that upgrading your skills is super important. And if you want to be someone who actually wants to get certifications, maybe just to show your potential client, I actually already created a video on top 10 certificates free that is all online. Another mistake that I see a lot is actually not tracking your work. It's not having a place where you can check off your to-do list and track what you did and what day. It's really important that you're able to know, at least just from a top level, of like, what was it that you done and when did you do it, so you can able to see your productivity, what you've done before. And also on the other side, making sure that you're building your portfolio at the same time. So if you're a graphic artist, a video editor, again, another creative, you can add all of that, all of the work that you've done right now for your current client as part of your portfolio. Now, of course, I've already made a video on how to create your digital portfolio that you guys can check out. But basically, it's making sure that you track the things that you're doing when it comes to working from home, so things don't get lost. So things get documented for your client and they know what you're doing as well. So it can be as simple as just creating a daily report. It can be simple as using a tool where you can track all of your to-do lists and where you're at. But again, it's making sure that in your head, you know what you're doing and when you did it, so things don't fall through the cracks. Speaking of that, another mistake that I see a lot is not getting testimonials from clients or people that you work with. Now, testimonials and reviews are basically gold when it comes to someone who wants to hire you, because then they know what it is like to work with you without having to work with you yet, because they can already see how else other people have fared with you. So normally, like nowadays, if you guys are going to buy a product or watch a movie or get a restaurant, you're probably going to look up on Google how good that movie is, how other people use the thing that you're about to buy, if they liked it or not, if it's a good quality, right? So it's going to be the same for employers. They want to make sure that you are really someone who can deliver. And the way to do that, the way to show that, is by giving them testimonials, even just screenshots of emails from your old employers, from the people that you work with, and showing them how good you were, how good of an employee you are or coworker you are. And you guys can do this through LinkedIn. You can ask for a recommendation from an old boss inside of LinkedIn. So then you can show that to other potential employers. So really keep in mind to build this branding of yours, to build your tracking, your clout as someone who works from home, by also collecting testimonials from other bosses. Now, if you have no idea how to do this, it's as simple as, again, reaching out on LinkedIn like, hey, can I ask for a recommendation on my profile? Or if they don't have LinkedIn, asking them through email, hey, can I get a written recommendation because I'm trying to apply for jobs online? So it's making sure that you collect all of that and you put that in a folder so it's easy for you to show potential employers. Now, the main thing, the main mistake that I see people do when it comes to working from home is not having the right tools. Now, I am a big advocate of using the right tools when it comes to life in general. If there's an easier way that you can do things with a certain tool and then you can use it for the long run, then I really want people to buy it or purchase it or at least find a way to get it. Because a lot of the time, we don't have the updated tools, so everything is slowed down. So we have to make sure, like for example, for me, I used to edit all of my videos just on my phone because I didn't have a software on my laptop. And as I did more and more videos, I had to get a software on my laptop to make things easier and smoother because it was very hard, pinching or like just trying to drag a certain clip on my phone. So I had to get a software on my laptop, and I also had to upgrade my laptop to be able to handle that. So it's making sure and keeping in mind that if it's a tool that makes your life easier, that makes your life better, then to make sure that you grab it, that you have it, so you're more streamlined when it comes to working, when it comes to just making your life easier. Now, if you guys have other mistakes that you've noticed or you've done yourself, make sure to comment them below so other people are able to see it. And also make sure to hit the like button so other people can see this video and also avoid the mistakes that I just covered. Now, if you guys still haven't, make sure that you hit the subscribe button right there so you get my videos every Sunday and Thursday on how to work from home. Now, check out these other two videos right here so you guys can get started on your digital career journey. Now, I hope you guys are having an awesome day, and remember that small steps matters, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!